Welcome back to Mark's Family Cooking. Seeing as it is the Platinum Jubilee weekend, I've decided to go all out British for our Sunday lunch. Have a traditional roast, finishing off with a rhubarb crumble. And here is the results. A golden topping, oozing rhubarb fruit. Check out the video to see how I've made rhubarb crumble. As with everything I make, I generally think it's quite easy. So if you like the video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enjoy. Let's start with prepping the rhubarb. I've got 7 sticks of British rhubarb, only bought from Aldi, not gone from a farm shop or anything like that. So I just need to chop this into smaller chunks, but I will start by just chopping the ends off, just where they've been picked. They've gone a bit gnarly on the ends. So just take the ends off, like that. And some of the rhubarb, as you'll see, is massively different in size. That one's really thin. If you look at that one, look at the girth on it. So I'm not that bothered too much about the size, but when you chop it, lay it so the sort of like the edge is down, just to make it more stable, and just cut it into pieces, I don't know, about a centimetre, something like that. Not too fat, not too thin, because you still want a little bit of bite in your rhubarb when you stew it down. So I'm going to prep all of this before we get it in the pan. So I've got the rhubarb in a pan. All in all, I've got about 850 grams of chopped rhubarb. So I'm going to put the pan on a low heat. To that, I'm going to add 150 grams of golden caster sugar. And then just to give it a little bit of extra flavour, I'm going to add in just a few drops of some rhubarb vodka, just to give it that little bit of extra rhubarb taste, a little bit of bite, just a little drizzle, just to help it get going. Cover it with a pan, and I'm going to stew that for about 15 to 20 minutes. See how it goes. It might be that you need to add more sugar, depending how tart the rhubarb is. But we like our rhubarb quite stewed down, so we're going to stew it down, medium to low heat, 15-20 minutes, see how it goes. Now time to make the crumble. To make the crumble, I've got measured out 100 grams of cubed butter, 75 grams of golden caster sugar, and 150 grams of plain flour. So to make it easier for myself, I'm going to tip the plain flour into a blender with the butter. I'm just going to whiz that up for a few seconds until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. Make sure the lid's on, turn it on, make sure it's on, there we go. Now just going to give it a pulse till it resembles fine breadcrumbs. There we go, that's all it needs. So I'm going to transfer that into a bowl now. Into the bowl I'm going to add the flour and butter mix. As you can see from the texture, it is like fine breadcrumbs. So into that I'm going to add my 75 grams of golden caster sugar, and also I'm going to be adding about 3 tablespoons of oats, just to give that crumble a little bit more texture. So just stir it through with a spoon. Just gonna add a few more oats to it. And that is your crumble topping. So that's now ready to add to the stewed fruit before we put it in the oven. So let's have a look on the rhubarb. That's been bubbling away for a good 15 minutes. As you can see, I'm going to turn off the heat a minute, the rhubarb is just about holding its shape, nicely stewed down. Just going to check the sweetness of it. Absolutely perfect. It's still got that lovely tartness of the rhubarb, and then comes through with the sweetness of the sugar, and at the background you can just taste that little bit of extra rhubarb flavour from the vodka. So it's now time to transfer it into a dish. Okay, so I'm just going to tip the rhubarb into a dish, keeping all that beautiful rhubarb juice in there. Make sure I get every last bit in. Just give it a little shake to spread it out evenly, and then it's time to top it with the crumble mixture, and I'm just going to shake it on. I'm not going to go right to the edges, but here we've got a really nice ratio of fruit to crumble. I think most people prefer a little bit of extra crumble, so I'm happy with that. Just spread it out evenly. Now that's now ready to go into the oven. So I'm now going to put the crumble into the oven, 200 degrees Celsius on fan, for approximately 35 minutes until nice and golden. So the crumble's now been in for 35 minutes. Look at that. Golden top, the fruit oozing out the sides. Let's cut into it. So you need to have a good old spoonful of crumble. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Lovely thick crumble, nice oozing fruit, and of course you have to serve it with lashings of custard. Perfect Sunday pudding.